So downstairs, not so much has changed. This is a continuation of the last video. I might hold on to it, so it might be a couple of days later, but this is really the same thing. I think you saw the cabinets and countertops in. Oh, you might not have seen the countertops. That might be new, along with the plumbing fixtures. So there's a lot going on in here. Countertops are down and in. They look nice. There are some issues. There's some unexpected things. Faucet, everything in here looks fantastic. Love this sink. This was the same sink that we had in our last place. Could no longer get the faucet that we had in the last place, but this is a virtually identical style to what we were getting. And of course it pulls out and does shower and all that stuff. So good quality. And we went with stainless here. Everywhere else in the house we're doing chrome, but in the kitchen it's stainless. It's, you know, stainless steel appliances, and we wanted it to match. What else? We have our light rail kit. These are the pieces that are going to go underneath here. They're going to get installed probably next week along with all the crown. So that's ready to go. After the floors are done, we can do all the kickboards underneath all of these cabinets. And I really want the floors done. Maybe I'll have, I don't know, tile guy. We'll see if he can come in and start banging all this tile out, because the one fixture that we're not able to get to right now is the pot filler. But that's going to require the HVAC guys coming in, so that it's a whole stack up here. Can't install the pot filler here until the tile is done. Tile can't get done until the vent is in, and the vent is sitting right there waiting for the HVAC guys. So it's a little bit of a backup over here. So this is what we thought we were doing for a range. It's an induction, and it doesn't have a back. All the controls are on the front. That was kind of stylistically important because we're doing some cool tile in there. We wanted to see it. However, they sent us the wrong thing. It was supposed to have a whole bunch of like a flexible heating element on this side to use a griddle, and you know, that was one feature. There's a couple of other features. Anyway, it's a very similar model. It looks basically identical. I didn't realize it was the wrong one when they delivered it. They're coming back for it. First week in January, we will have all of our appliances. And so we're hoping that these floors are good to go. And if they're not, we'll just do where the appliances go. So they'll get rolled in, and then we'll poly kind of up to them and be extra careful or something. But they'll be sealed and polyed, at least one coat kind of underneath all of the appliance locations, and spilling out so that they can come up back to it. And if they are so inclined, they can roll them out and put them back in. This is one of the panels. So we got that panel for our under cabinet fridge, which goes here. It's going to match all the chestnut color of this wood. This countertop turned out great as well. Matching slightly smaller sink. It's over there, and it looks great. And it's, you know, all of the plumbing is really done. It's not just in place. It's all kind of ready to go, looking good, nice and clean. So yeah, pretty good to go in here. One of the other things that I'll point out is we've had some issues with the countertops. So these countertops, you can see in the video here, there's a slight grain to this quartz that we picked out, and it's linear in the wrong direction right here and here. I'm sure the slab was wide enough so that they just cut these off of the ends. And it sucks because like all the rest of it runs in this direction along this wall. They cut it so that it runs and, you know, stays in the same grain pattern. This one runs all along the wall. So like there was care put into how this all ran. And they did not put the same care into how those were placed. So our architects are fighting with them right now. They want them to come back out and put two new pieces in that are they're matching everything else, matching the intent of the design here. I'm not going to push it too hard because I have to pick my battles at this point, but I'm glad that they are for us, because it's not right. I mean, that's pretty basic. They should have gotten that right, and I shouldn't have to ask for it. So the big thing that's been happening this past week is, as you can see, we've got floors. So this is that new to us old stock flooring. You can see that this has been planed. A lot of this has been planed out. Some of it didn't. Some of this was probably, this is original to the house, to this house, the dirtier stuff. And the stuff that was planed was reclaimed from the previous house, or another 200-year-old home in Western New Hampshire. So it's a really great match. Now that's all polyed still, so it's gonna need to get sanded out, but you can say on the far side, it's really the same coloration that we're seeing here. That pink heart pine swirl is everywhere, which is a lot of the same coloration you're seeing in the stairs. So these stairs are new heart pine, the same pink. They have some more knots in them, and this stuff is the old stuff. Same thing through here. That section there was from the original house in various states, and then this is kind of where it patched in all across the front. See how nice and wide it is. We left a lot of the nail holes and things in these to maintain the width. They're not perfect. See, there's a crack in that one, and it'll get filled. We're gonna spot fill the old nail holes, cracks, and some knot holes with some black epoxy resin, and then sand everything back and do clear coat on top of that. So it's probably going to be, we're hoping for somewhere in this neighborhood, probably on the lighter side like that, when we get a sealer coat and 3 coats of poly on it. That should be good protection. It should amber. We're going with an oil-based, so it will have kind of that amber color to it. But that's kind of what we're hoping our final color turns into. We did some stain colors. You can see some splotches there of a medium brown color. We thought we could get something in this range, and it was just so spotty. Every other board was a different color, and it looked like a zebra or something. It was going to have a bad effect. We do not want a distracting floor. We just want it to be appreciated for the beauty that already exists, and the inconsistency in it, and the knots, and the nail holes, and all the dings and dents, and it's going to get sanded out. But I want the character of it. Like, that's why we went through the whole exercise of saving this floor, is we want it to look like the original house, like those warm, charming floors. And over time, we hope that they will darken to be more like this color. And we expect that they will, but it'll take decades to really darken up. Now in the family room, we were running short on materials, and so we blended a little bit of the old and the new. We brought the old in initially here, running all the way down the hallway. This is all original wide pine stuff, the nicest of it. Even this was original house. This guy here is original. Then this is some of the old stock that's new to this house. This was original. And then this is the brand new stuff from the second floor. But it wasn't a particularly pink piece. That's why it didn't really get installed. You can see it down there. It looks a little more like heart. Down here, it looks like yellow pine. So it's not the most beautiful stuff. It'll probably be lighter, as you can see here versus here. But that's a variation that I'm willing to accept, especially with a couple of coats of poly on it. I think it'll go away. And then you get back to this old heart pine stuff. And then these are old, but I think they're pine. They're more like white or it's probably white or red pine. So they're a little different. Original stuff, and boom, that's a new piece there. That's a new piece there. And those are the only 3 stripes that we will have that'll be new. Everything else was original. And we've got some left over, but they would have been so short, you know, a whole bunch of 4 to 5 or 3 to 5 foot pieces. We didn't want to scab it together that hard. That's kind of the charm of the floor, is it's the wide pine, it's long and random widths. And to keep it consistent, we decided that we'd mix a few of the newer things in here rather than go hunting for the third time to try to find something that might match. But that's the story downstairs right now. We're basically waiting on electricity and heat. And once we get that, we'll be sanding these floors and turning the heat on to put finish on. There's plenty of painting and, you know, detailed trim work to do, both baseboard and just, you know, the filling of slight gaps like that, and nail holes and all the sanding that's required for all the woodwork. We want the woodwork downstairs to really shine. The guys have done a nice job and an affordable job on the second and third floors, but down here, we're gonna pay closer attention to the prep work, making sure that, you know, the place is just as nice as we can, as nice as we remember it. And I hope it all turns out. I guess we're not 100% done with flooring. We got a few of those boards. Some of those smaller ones will fit in really nicely right here. We'll get them going in because we got to fill this space, obviously, as well. Down here in the powder room, we got a snafu. This was not the top we ordered. It's too dark. You can see it kind of like almost is the same tone as the cabinet. That's not what we wanted. It was supposed to be like a white Carrara marble, a much lighter white, and, you know, veins of gray, but not like solid gray like that. And basically we want it to be like, you know, the cabinet is the darker gray in the tile pattern, whereas we want the top to reflect the lighter white or cream color of the rest of that floor pattern. You can kind of start to visualize the floor pattern now. It's really cool. It's got this kind of worn look without looking dirty. And it's almost like a carpet, so it warms it up down here. We'll be putting some older things in here. Great fixture up above in here as well. So this is definitely a dark space, and we're going to paint it the darker gray, so it'll be even darker than that color gray on the walls. That's why I didn't want that. So we're concerned about that, but we've got a ceiling light fixture and the vanity light fixture, and it's all coming in on the single switch here. It'll turn everything on. So it'll be nice and bright in there when it's in use, and otherwise it'll be kind of a secluded little closet space. But that is where we're at. One thing that we didn't show a couple of videos ago outside, they just really got going today. It looks like they're wrapped up for the day, is the front steps. Little bonus for you. The front steps are going in. That's the original first front step here, all 9 feet of it. They got the wings in to level up, and now they're ready to put that stone on, and that should go in really easily. They got to do a lot of compacting to do. A lot of they've been fighting this thing. It's been too cold, and it hasn't enjoyed staying running. But we've got those other 2 slabs, so they think tomorrow they should be able to lay all 3 of those in place with no problem and get what we want out of it. I'll be able to step off this for the first time in 2 years or so. So stay tuned for a follow-up video on the front steps in a few days. Take care, everybody.